Welcome back. So July is Savings Month in South Africa, and this year the focus is firmly on finding ways to save, but not only save, but adapt existing financial plans as we face challenges arising from the coronavirus pandemic. With jobs on the line and massive salary cuts, how does one begin to save? Well, let's delve into that question. Bring in Acting CEO of South African Saving Institute, Gerald Mwandiambira. He is joining us now to talk about the role of stokvels as well in improving the lives of people in the country. Gerald, a very good afternoon. Always good to see you. So I was talking there about retrenchments, salary cuts and the like. How do we begin to save in this current climate?
Look, I think what we need to realize is that saving is a behavior. So most of us associate saving with actually having money to put aside. But we're not in that environment right now. It's a matter of us having to adjust our behavior to our new current situations. As you rightly pointed out, there's a lot of people who are losing incomes. And they need to critically adjust how they live in order just to survive. So what we are doing this Savings Month is to have discussions around building up financial resilience in tough and challenging economic times. It's not as simple as just getting a budget and surviving and keeping to your budget. We're not in that space. Right now it's about change your behavior, change your attitude towards money. And if you are one of those people who's unfortunately lost an income or reduced their income, you need to change your behavior for the foreseeable future so that you can make it to see a better day.
Let me ask you then, you talk about changing behavior. A lot of people will be coming into huge amounts of money that they've never handled before because of severance packages and the like. When you do receive that large lump sum, what is the best way to do? Where do I put it away? How do I save it?
I think that's a very good question, Tembekile, because when you receive your severance package, you're going to have a decision to make. Do I pay off my debt? Or do I live off this money? And that decision needs to be finely balanced, because what you need to realize is that surviving till your next employment opportunity or next income generating opportunity is more important than necessarily paying debt. But at the same time, you need to protect your name and your good credit score and credit standing. So the most important thing is to communicate. And what I would say is, if you are in that situation where you're receiving a severance package, try and get good financial counsel. Now, financial counsel as in someone who's got your back and is going to advocate the right financial decisions, as opposed to someone who's going to try and make a quick deal, sell you something, hit you and run.
Is the interest rate still the main thing to look out for when we're stashing this money away?
I wouldn't say so right now, Tembekile, because interest rates are the lowest they've been in decades. So interest rates for savers right now are not necessarily that attractive. I think right now what you would tend to look at more is in terms of sustainability, in terms of where you put your money. Is it safe? There's a lot of pyramid schemes and WhatsApp stokvels and all sorts of interesting things starting to pop up, also because people are coming into money. So one of the things we are doing is every week we're having a webinar on a Saturday. The next one is tomorrow at 11, and we're discussing some of these things such as retrenchment, stokvels, savings hacks, and even your mental and your physical health in these challenging times can be impacted by your financial situation.
And just in terms of the trends, you've touched on this somewhat. Are you finding that people are now moving away from saving traditionally with the banks, where, like I was saying, you'd look at a good interest rate on a fixed deposit, for example, and put your money away that way?
I think no, people still trust the financial institutions and the banking sector. But I think what's happening, Tembekile, now is that because you know it's your last money, there's an element of greed which starts to come in, because you want to make the most of it and you don't know when your next money is coming. So you're willing to take much greater risks than you would normally. And that's where the challenges start to come in, because the criminals also know that if they tell you a good story at this particular time, you'll hand over your money. And hopefully what we will do with our Savings Month campaign this year is that the people participating, not only do they have a chance of winning 10,000 Rand sponsored by our partners ABSA, but they will get the knowledge in order to spot the crooks. Because right now, there are so many of these schemes going on, so many strange investment products and opportunities that if you fall prey to this, it could actually damage your family's future. I think also what we need to do is we need to humble ourselves at this time. Losing a job is something which affects us in a great way, but we might need to move back home with parents if we can. We might need to move in with siblings if we can. We might need to take children out of schools or downgrade if we can. Or we might even need to give up a car or two or downgrade in order to survive. I think at this point in time, you as an individual need to look at yourself and say, what is best for me? Forget about social media. Forget about the world. You need to survive. Yesterday, I was passing a takeaway store. I wasn't buying because I'm trying to lose weight. But
aren't we all?
I saw a Mercedes-Benz, I understanding, doing Mr. D. A Mercedes-Benz C-Class, latest model, doing Mr. Delivery. And I said, wow, that person truly understands how to be in control of their own financial destiny. They've forgotten about what the world will say, but they are more concerned about how to look after their family. And that 200, 300, 400 rand they make a day is going to help to pay for that car.
Gerald, that bit of advertising you threw in there did not get past me. Thank you very much for your time. Gerald Mwandiambira speaking to us about saving, as many South Africans sadly deal with the reality of retrenchments.